What's going on?
I can't get it to work, people. I can't get the meeting on. I can't get the meeting on.
You did Zoom USA? I don't know where we are in the.
Well, you can start over if you want. I mean, it's whatever I done, it's not working.
Pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everybody. It's kind of got a lot on the agenda. I noticed some new faces. I was proud to hear we'll have something going on.
No, we didn't think we'd have a big crowd.
Oh.
Our residents back
Well,
in
we're starting to
town.
flow back to town and you
Exactly.
can see that, some new faces are here, so great, welcome. The first item on the agenda tonight is we're gonna have a presentation by our police chief, interim police chief, I guess, on Operation Top Town Shield. So if you wanna go ahead, chief.
Thank you.
Podium's yours.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. Operation Town Shields, an initiative that we started about a year and a half, maybe even 2 years ago now. With proactive crime prevention program designed to monitor unrecognized and unregistered vehicles entering our town intelligently. It's a collaboration between the police department and residents. Residents register their vehicles with us, enroll their license plate numbers, and the system acts as a virtual gate, like an HOA's gate. So instead of having a gate that goes up and down, the system recognizes the tag and alerts our police patrols that it's a registered vehicle that belongs to someone in the town, whether it's the homeowner, your registered guests or workers, whatever it may be. You choose the plates that you put into our system. From 11 PM to 5 AM, the system will detect the vehicles entering and notify our patrol officers of unregistered vehicles, allowing for a response to any potential concerns. The registered license plates.
Real quick, we'll also, so if the car is not registered pursuant to the state of Florida, we'll pick that up as well.
No, this camera will not. We have a different system for that.
Okay, I wanna make sure that they know that.
Yeah, I'm
also.
getting to that, Mayor. Okay, that's actually my next line. These registered license plates are only accessible to us, to the town police. The other system handles the police end of it. This is like an HOA system. So what, if you've ever been in an HOA like I have, and I am, my tag when I pull up to the gate is registered very similar, and it opens the gate for me instead of having a card there. This list is only maintained by us, nobody else. And your residents can register as many vehicles as they like. Right now, we have 133 registered vehicles. We had 128 this morning when I wrote this, and then it jumped 5 by somebody coming in. Next slide. I covered this, that works like a HOA gate. Instead of a gate, we have a virtual alarm.
Now, which is these that EPC cards are working by tapping them on.
A couple of little kinks to roll out the system, but we're almost there, and I expect this to be done by January. So we're really close getting this up and running and working between 11 PM and 5 AM. And that's it.
So Mayor, if I can jump in to kind of clarify what you were asking, and also for our residents who are here, we now have a system that does not alert us, but it's a camera system, and it captures every car that comes into town. So when we have had crimes or potential crimes, we have been able to go back to that camera system and look at it. The difference with this is between 11 PM and 5 AM, our police department will get an alert if it is not a tag that the resident has given us and we've put into our system. So Uber brings you home, it's okay. We might swing by to make sure your Uber's going to your home, you're walking up. The difference between Uber coming in or your kids coming in late from the airport or friends coming over late or early, 5 AM, is the bad guys come in and they start driving up and down the street and looking for those unlocked cars or those really nice cars. And we're gonna catch them now because we've gotten the alert that they're in the town. Because as small as we are, we can happen to be on Lighthouse when they come in here and we're not getting an alert, and that's the difference now.
Do we have the ability to read a plate to determine whether or not it is not currently registered?
The police cameras do,
And they're located at the entrance.
yes.
And so, but do they alert?
No, we do not. We only get alerts for criminal activity. You know, stolen cars,
Stolen.
stolen tags, missing persons, terrorists,
Right.
gang members.
So there's no trigger when a car drives in here with an expired registration? Is there, so does that system exist?
Yeah.
It does. Okay, can you get a price on it?
I,
Cause I notice every day, and I'm sure you do too, if you go drive up Island, every single day, those Jupiter Island cops, they sit about probably a half a mile north of their camera system reader. And all they do is wait for a trigger off that camera system and they pull people over. And I don't know, it's generally not for speeding, it's generally for expected registration or something along those lines.
years ago, we did do that, but it was a lie. A real lie.
Well, it's a violation, right? It's against
Yeah,
the law to drive a car with an expired.
But you've tailored it more to criminal activity.
Yeah.
Overarching,
no, it could pick up just about everything. Activity tied to a person that owns the car, the plate on the car. It would really involve a lot of staff though.
Mhm,
I mean, that could be
okay,
incredibly overwhelming for us. It could be done,
right,
But-
but as with everything, it's a cost.
yeah, but you know, years ago, the chief at the time decided to keep focusing on the criminal activity and it has paid off for us. We had a stolen car driven into the community once that we actually arrested the driver of it. So that really paid off for us. This enhancement is totally outside that realm
Mhm,
and a real good crime prevention thing. It's like, really like having a gate at the front of the town, which we can't do legally, but
right,
this is the next best thing.
okay. Any other questions or comments from the commission?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And just as a follow-up, if residents are interested in being a part of the system, we have a form here at Town Hall. You can come in at any time and fill out, or just send us an email.
Excellent, and let the, Madam Clerk, let the record reflect that all commissioners are in attendance for the meeting tonight, and the satisfaction of the roll call. So commission reports, town manager, you wanna?
Sure, quickly, we have the Veterans Day, flag raising. It is something that I have been working on with Vice Mayor Muir and former Mayor Chip Block. The entire community, whether you're a veteran or not, is welcomed at 8 o'clock tomorrow, followed by a breakfast. The resident welcome back party is Saturday, November 22nd at 5:30 at Como Park. Notification will be going out tomorrow with information to RSVP.
Yes, RSVP, it would be kind, just in terms of preparation, it'd be great if you just let us know that you're gonna be there. I think we had a little bit of an oversubscription for the holiday or Halloween event, which was great. But it's nice to be properly,
Yes.
planned for, okay, thank you.
The financial report you have in your backup shows that we have closed out the year unofficially with $769,000 going into our reserve. That is over and above what we expected. We expected 462,000. When we add that to the audited amount of what we know is in our reserve, we're at $1.2 million in unassigned excess funds for the town. Some of the financial improvements that we've made have included improving invoices, better controls, checks and balances. We're technically net 30, but we have a 2-week payment cycle. We have up-to-date information on our financials. We've streamlined our chart of account. We're doing competitive pricing. In the next few months, our finance director and I are looking at a purchase order system that coincides with our bill paying system to make it even more seamless and automated. I met with, key staff members to start working on our project list for our funded projects for this fiscal year. Going forward, that project list is included in the town manager's report as part of your backup. I'm gonna be attending a meeting on Thursday regarding the upcoming bills by our legislative delegation. And I'll have more information on that. You may have seen on the South Walkway, rocks and sod, as well as the opening up of trees. We're trying to work on improving the conditions there. Also, over the last few days, the entrance is getting a refresh. That includes the little building, our portions of the wall, as well as the monument sign. To manage expectations, the wall that goes along the south side of our entrance road where the palm trees are, that belongs to the Jib Club condo. I reached out to them. I've spoken to their board president and their property manager. They are not interested at this time in painting the wall. It has to do with their condo docs and rules, and they need 75% membership to agree to it, so they don't want to do it right now. On the other side of it is I am working with the garden club and Cindy and Laura on doing some enhanced landscaping at the front entrance, so we might be able to kind of shield the wall a little bit, because it is gonna stand out as nice as the new painting looks. I did go to the International City Manager Association Conference in Tampa. I attended different sessions on fraud, public expectations, onboarding newly elected officials, which is something I think we can use, and different technology tools. And that is the end of my report, unless you have any questions.
Any questions of the commission? Okay, town clerk.
Elections qualifications begins at noon this Wednesday, November 12th, and ends at noon on Tuesday, November 25th. Any interested candidates must be a registered voter with the town and shall have been a resident of the town for at least 1 year before appointment. Each commission member must reside in the town for the duration of their term. Seats for the election are seat 2 and seat 4. The terms for seat 2 and 4 will expire in March 2028. The election is scheduled for March 10th, 2026. For more information on how to qualify for elected office position, or if you wish to pick up a paper copy of the above forms, please contact me. That's it.
Excellent. Chief Beckman, did you have anything else you'd like to?
Real quick,
Talk about.
Mayor, thank you. Just an update on our patrols, we had 9,687 patrols around town next month. Got them up a little bit, a couple of months before, so we're right on track where we want to be. Thank you.
Could you clarify for everyone the times of the second patrol officer and what days that they're working?
The, on the night shift, right
Yeah.
now, we are not to full staff.
We
Okay.
just had a resignation.
Okay,
So we had a resignation, today,
Okay.
actually. But the times are from 10 PM now to 4 AM.
okay. So, okay,
4:30, something like that. We had just changed them from 4 PM to 10 PM. When I did a study a few years ago, 99% of our thievery crime is between 11 PM and 5 AM.
mhm,
So I was really looking forward to getting that 10 to 4 going.
mhm,
But we'll get it back.
okay.
We're working on recruitment.
Thank you. Thank you. Town attorney, anything to report tonight?
No, nothing at this
Okay,
time.
Commissioners? Seagram, Commissioner Seagram?
I have a report. I just want to say that I met informally with Joe Chasen from the Jupiter Inlet District and Catherine Murray, who is an environmental expert and my neighbor. And they were looking at the condition of the dune in front of the beach club and indicated that the vegetation was progressing in a very positive way. The sea oats and the beach morning glory are the early plants in dune restoration, and they're thriving. Also, I mentioned the neglect of the grassy area that is on the south side approaching Cato Bridge from US 1. If you were coming over the bridge and you looked on the south side, you would have seen that the grass was usually overgrown and dead trees had fallen. I mentioned this to Catherine and Murray, who is my neighbor, and she got busy with it. And we determined that the south side of the road is the responsibility of the town of Jupiter. Cato's Bridge is the responsibility of Palm Beach County. And the north side is the responsibility of the village of Tequesta. And in the past, the Beach Road Association had gotten involved to a certain extent. Long story short, if you go over the bridge now, you will see that the grass has been mowed. And we're working on, getting rid of the dead oak trees. So I'm, also following up on the repealing of the Senate Bill 1822, and HBB 621 that determines, who owns the land below the high mean water line along the ocean. So who would be responsible for, doing restoration and also for preserving the beach. So those are the things that I'm working on, in compliance with coastal construction controls.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Schuler?
You're welcome.
I'd like to thank everybody, Chrissy and Tom and your crew for all your efforts and putting together the great Halloween party. And we did have a suggestion that next year we will have more prizes for every little kid that shows up. It's too hard to choose. And then as legislative liaison, I'd like to encourage all of our residents, if you have any thoughts on what's happening up in Tallahassee and as far as property taxes. So the governor apparently is expecting a bill in this next section, which will adjust how property taxes are administered and paid throughout the state of Florida. 98% of our revenue comes from property taxes. So that would be a huge issue for us. We would basically eliminate home rule if they get rid of property taxes, which would be, again, very challenging for us. So I'd like to encourage any of our residents, if you have thoughts on ways to approach this, please get them to Heidi or talk to any of us. We'll be going up there on June 13th for
January.
Yeah, session.
I'm sorry, January, for when our session opens up to meet with the legislators.
So we may actually, just in furtherance of that thought, depending upon what legislation is introduced, we'll be proactive and let our residents know who to contact,
Yes.
generally what to say, because it could have an absolutely negative consequence to the continued operations of
Yes.
this place as a municipal corporation.
Yes, so that's the meeting on Thursday that I'm going to. There's some virtual meetings over the next few weeks so that we can put together kind of our action alert to our residents once we have the final bills going through the session.
Great. Vice Mayor? Janet?
Well, yeah, we talked about getting some access funds that can't be carried over. So I wanted to, bring the commission, if I could work with Heidi, and we can put a proposal for maybe waiving certain fees for resiliency projects. We bring it back for the commission to review, maybe like to waive some building fees made on such as maybe new roofing, windows, stuff for weather events.
Okay, great. Just a couple of quick things. I guess one would be, again, just to reiterate to RSVP to the welcome back party. The other one would be the commission's thought about maybe not having a December meeting due to the holidays, holiday travel schedule. I don't think that we had an overwhelming amount of new business that's even considered at this point for the December meeting. Is that correct, Heidi?
Correct.
So I don't know if we need a motion in that regard. Yeah, if somebody would, first off, what's everyone's thoughts about that before I ask for a motion?
That sounds good.
Makes sense.
Projects.
Okay, all right, so somebody would like to make a motion
I'll
to
make a motion to cancel.
cancel the December 2025 town council meeting. And we have a second by Janet, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? None. Okay, motion passes 5-0. For many of you who are either online or you're here in person, over the summer, we had the unfortunate circumstance as a commission to hear, evidence and testimony regarding, a town charter issue. Some of you may be familiar with that, where a commissioner, did, take some health insurance benefits that ultimately were repaid. They were, in our view, in the commission's view, was a violation of the town charter. We went ahead and referred that matter to the Office of Inspector General. You can go to their website, you can read their report. In essence, what was found with that commissioner, and I guess it's the former mayor too, that there was no finding that they violated the county code. Okay, because the Office of Inspector General follows the county code. I'm gonna ask for this commission to for some to provide some direction to our town administration and our town attorney to work and respond to the report, provide us a draft letter that we can authorize to send down there. There was some information in the record that we believe is inaccurate and not honest. And so we want to point that out to the Office Inspector General. And I'm going to look for the concurrence of the commission to direct our staff to respond appropriately with what we believe to be the violations of the charter that I still happen to believe were violated. And correct the record as we believe it to be. We heard evidence and testimony at our hearing. I believe it was August. I don't know specifically, but I believe it was August. And that's the record that this commission relied upon to go ahead and refer the matter down at the OIG. And that's why we voted for the removal of the one commissioner. So if the rest of the commission is, first off, any comments?
We're talking ethics or the IG?
Commissioner of Ethics.
Commissioner of Ethics, sorry, Commissioner.
Good. Sounds good to me.
No, absolutely, yeah.
No, I agree.
Sharon, you were the one dissenting vote. I don't know how you feel about that.
I think I'll have to continue to dissent.
Well, you can just say you don't agree.
I don't agree.
Okay, good. All right, so you have essentially the direction of the commission by, 4-1 here is to do exactly kind of as I laid out. And I appreciate you all providing us a draft of that letter for review prior to sending. Okay, I don't have anything else. The next item is, there's a lot of folks here, so I'm sure there's some folks that would like to speak. Please come to the podium if you would like. It's the public comment section of the meeting. You have 3 minutes to talk about any item that's not on the agenda. There are some items on the agenda that are public hearings and you will have the ability to speak during those items. So anything you want, the weather, you have to go to the car dealer tomorrow to get your tires, you wanna tell us about it, anything you want.
Cindy,
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 why
can't
don't
see
you-
Cindy around the corner, yeah.
Okay, this is real fast. I'm president of the Garden Club, and just in case, we are hopefully this week going to get a report from the landscape architect who is coming up with a plan for our front entrance and what we call, the monument wall. We're trying to soften everything up and refresh, I think is probably the better term. So if we're not going to have, so my understanding is we have to the garden club has to approve it. Heidi has to approve it, but then it has to be brought to the commission to have you, is that true?
We would like to have the commission general agreement about
Okay,
it.
okay,
yes.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I highly doubt that anything is gonna be in January. But because there is nothing going, there will be no meeting in December, how do we handle that? Just wait until January?
Yeah.
Okay,
Just wait
okay.
till-
Chances are that it's gonna be, we're gonna hem and haw about it and say we want something different and everything
Yeah,
else, but. I just wondered, he's a really nice guy, he's the same person, Steve Parker, who did the Como Park. And so we're trying to make it all, so that it all goes together.
Yep,
And,
perfect,
okay,
perfect.
thank
Do you
you.
have an estimate from a budget standpoint?
We don't, we have, the garden club has given a certain amount of money, said we would do this, and in the past, it had always been the town would match it.
Okay,
Now, whether or not we need to chip in more, because it's, I don't really know what the costs are, but he said he thought we had enough money to do most of it. We'll see. We'll see where it could go. And we also said that we might try to do it in sections. If it became more than we thought we could afford now, we could do it in phases. Cool.
thank you. Is there any other public comment?
Sort of comment question, Fran Whiter, 55 Colony. I didn't see the town manager's backup report, but the question is relative to the North Walk. One, whether we're gonna be maintaining the path down to the beach until the stairs are in. I know one resident was hurt there last week, and it's kind of an issue getting down for anybody who's got any kind of a disability or bad leg or anything. And I think a long time ago, we said that until we did get stairs, we were gonna maintain it, but it's not really maintained now. Second part of that is, when the stairs are done, whether there's any reconsideration of a reskinning of what's there to the nice wood that is over on the other side. Those of us who use it, and I don't know how many of commissioners do, but I see a lot of people here that do. It's virtually unusable in the morning. It's wet. It's wet now, and it is slippery. And it never should have been built like it's built. That's a long story that a lot of people in this room know about. So there's no point rehashing that, but I hope that we will give some consideration when you do put the stairs in to getting it done right once and for all, because it's a great facility, but you get on there with coffee in the morning or even at night to look at the moon, and if you don't have your towel, you're wet, and that's really not what it should be. It should be like one we just did.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, appreciate that. Anything else from anybody? Or anything from anyone online? Let's see. No? Okay. We'll move on to, the consent agenda, which are a minute from the October, meeting. Basically looking for motion to approve consent agenda. Motion to approve. Second. Okay, motion to approve. All in favor? Or no, passes 5-0. And, the next item is an ordinance on first reading, which is, an ordinance for amending section 15.2 relating to non-temporary or temporary non-commercial signs pertaining to an election. And so there will be public comment to this. I'm gonna let Heidi will give an overview of what the ordinance is. And again, first reading, there will be a second reading where therefore it will be adopted. This is just the first reading. You'll be afforded an opportunity to speak at both hearings if you choose. Heidi?
Absolutely. Thank you, Mayor. So in my agenda review, I actually received some questions about where did this come from? And it's a proactive approach that I initiated in working with our town attorney as well. It is pretty typical in municipalities to have regulations that address signs related to elections. As our sign code stands now, we only address real estate signs, personal signs, contractor signs, and personal I mean by like private property, your address, and signs at the Jupiter Inlet Beach Club. So it's, like I said, it's pretty typical to have these. If you don't have them, my understanding is you kind of defer to state law, which is a kind of a it's
Very broad.
big, yeah, very broad. So what we have proposed, we looked at Jupiter Island as well as Tequesta for some guidance on what they do. And we say that the signs may be specific to any election that urges an election to a candidate or a referendum, such as when we did the charter here. The sign shall not exceed 18 inches by 24 inches in size. Signs shall be permitted on residential properties. They must be set back at least 10 feet from the right of way. And which means not necessarily the edge of the street, because remember, most homes have a 10-foot strip in front of them and 10 feet from your side property lines that are under different ownership. Only one sign per candidate on any lot. The signs may be installed 30 days prior to an election, and they must be removed 48 hours after the election. We're happy to answer any questions that you may have. This is, as the mayor mentioned, first reading. Because it's an ordinance, it changes our code of ordinances. It will have to come back for a second reading at the next meeting.
And just for clarification, 18 by 24 is the size of a standard long mounted political sign that candidates generally deploy. It's not really more restrictive than what candidates generally use in all municipalities in Palm Beach County.
Correct.
Okay, so before any public comment. Scott? Nobody?
Good.
Okay. Yeah, this has come up before, and this sounds very sensible. No one detests political signs more than I do. I don't think it changes one person's vote. It's an ego stroke for whoever owns the house. And so I prefer that we be able to ban them all together. But last I heard, there's a First Amendment to the Constitution.
Well, at least for now, at least for now.
Constitution still stands regardless of their best efforts to subvert it. So I'd just like to register my opinion that we should do whatever we can to discourage political signs. However, this sounds like a very sensible ordinance, given that that's impossible.
Excellent, thank you. Are there any other comments from the public?
I'm with you, Jim.
Anything from anyone online, just quickly? Thank you. Okay, I'll return to the commission. Want to just go around the horn and you start with Janet. Any comments, any questions, comments, concerns?
With Chip, but yeah. Sounds.
Yeah. Vice Mayor?
Looks good, matches pretty well, sure.
Yeah, you did a good job researching what happened around there.
Right. Commissioner Seaver?
Just, the signs will be 20 feet back. I thought it was 10 feet, then an additional 10 feet. So
Yeah.
they'll be 20 feet from the property line. Okay.
Okay, I have no issue. I don't think this is a major issue for the town anyway, but it's good to have something on the books so that if someone does go overboard, there are some general rules that we can force should we need to. So I'm in favor. I'm looking for a motion on first reading to approve ordinance 25-01.
Make such a motion.
Okay, motion's been made. Any final comments? Seeing none? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Okay, new business. This is a vote to approve $26,460 to the Jupiter Beach Swim Club for the installation of some new stormwater piping and outfall check valves. We actually authorized this expenditure, actually a greater amount last month, but this is a new amount, so you're bringing it back. We've negotiated with the beach club. We've got the easement language that we need. We're protected. This is essentially to provide a new outfall from the end of Ocean through the beach club property out into the inlet so that our water can properly drain. Our surface water can properly drain through an expanded pipe with a new check valve. So at high tide, the water will come back up into our community. Essentially, I think covered it, right?
You did.
Okay, so
Yes.
are there any public comments relative to this item? This was an item that was also budgeted, correct?
This was not budgeted, but we know through savings and excess funds, we'll be able to handle it.
And come back to the commission. Commissioner Seagram, is there any comment?
No comment.
Commissioner Schuler, Vice Mayor.
It's already actually in place. I was looking at it.
You wanna
tonight.
look
The
at it?
pipe is
In there.
already there.
Good.
I'm not sure the check valve is there yet. Didn't look like it.
Okay, I'm looking for a motion.
Make a motion?
Okay, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you.
All right, as part of number 7, this is the authorizing the purchase of the Skydio drone and associated software protection plan. Chief, I don't know if you're still here, I can't see you,
Yeah.
but if you are here, if you wanted to say a few words, you can. If you don't, you don't need to.
I think it's a great opportunity, having that eyes above ground, when you can't get a helicopter, faster too. That's a very good deal. It's a state, government cloud service also, so everything kind of is out there. We don't have any, upkeep with data and stuff like that. So very good deal, and I'm looking forward to having that in our arsenal. Thank you.
And Chief, where is it, launched from? Is it like is it on the car? Or is it set up?
Case.
It can be set
Case.
remote. I've seen some of those could be set up. remotely.
Everybody will be trained that operates it. It's a whole big procedure, policy.
Yeah,
Okay.
proceed trainings pursuant to the.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
FAA license, yes.
So we currently, I'm sorry, go on.
No, the one you said sounds more, use it more for the neighborhood and, if there's.
Missing persons.
Can it also be used to kind of watch the beach erosion?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
take pictures, videos, so we're prepared for the emergency management season, hurricane season. A very, very, very nice asset to have. Thank you.
So this will be funded by a grant through FDLE. As we discussed, during the budget process, there are some reoccurring costs that will fall to the town of approximately $3,000. Vice Mayor, I did not get a chance to get back to you, but the parachute is an annual cost because every time we deploy the parachute, they repack it. They have to repack it. So that's the issue.
So,
And it has to fly with the parachute.
so if you don't deploy the parachute, then there shouldn't be a charge.
Correct, yeah, and we'll look at that, absolutely, like, we'll fight for that. We do have a drone policy that is in your backup, this will be used only for public safety, environmental concerns, emergency management and training. And, we do have 2 licensed drone pilots already on staff, they came to us with their drone pilot license already. One is a full timer who works on our night shift, and one is our part timer who's very involved in town operations.
Just for full disclosure, I know we're going after the grant. What's the cost of the drone?
So the drone is 21,000. We have been awarded the grant through Florida Department of Law Enforcement to cover that 21,000. So the cost to us only today is 5,200. And of that 5,200, 3,000 essentially could be reoccurring.
Okay, great.
And are we gonna attempt to generate any more pilots?
I'm sorry.
Are we gonna attempt to generate any more pilots on the police force staff?
Absolutely.
Okay, I imagine everyone has.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'll try and squeeze it in.
Did you see it? Absolutely.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right, the last item is,
We need a vote.
oh, yes, that's all we did. No, we didn't. Okay, we're looking
Make
for
a
a motion.
motion to authorize the purchase of the drone.
Second?
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye, motion passes 5. And the next item is authorizing the town manager to negotiate a change order to the previously approved coastal seawall dock and boat lift contract, which was the contractor that did our west walkway over here to build a new north walkway access there.
So Mayor, we would be using some cost savings from the west observation deck to put stairs in. Just to answer kind of a question we heard during public comment. At this time, we are not adding any sand out there because it is just getting washed away. We rather put our cost into the stairs. We expect to start this construction pretty quickly. There is supposed to be caution tape up, but someone keeps taking down the caution tape and it's been there since the erosion. So I know last week we caught it after it had gone down, so we're trying to stay on top of it, but someone does keep taking the caution tape down. But notices have gone out to the community saying to please use the south walkway. We expect the savings, or the savings from the west side, like I mentioned, to fund this.
Yep.
We don't have an exact cost, but, because there was vacations with the designer in between everything. But I'm asking for you to approve up to 25,000. I expected to come in a little bit below
Yeah, I
that.
remember 22 is a next.
It was 15 to 20 was the expectation. Mhm. And,
Yeah, so I talked to, the town manager earlier. So we did a really nice job on the design on the new west platform that has seating that faces west and along with the seating that's north and south. So it promotes people being able to sit and talk. And we used to have that on the south walkway and the north walkway. I went over to the south walkway looking at that the other day, and there's plenty of room to add seats a bench that would face the ocean. So you could create that same kind of social setting. So I wondered if we could potentially add that to the change order, if people were in favor of that, thought it was a good idea.
I mean, I just wanna see how whatever it look like.
Okay.
Just sketch it out.
I can
That
negotiate the cost and what a sketch would look like. I know our town engineer's on the call right now. We can get that and I can just circle it around to the commission so you can see it.
Alright, that's good.
Now that would refresh my memory, the construction materials down there, is the same wood, the same fake wood that we have on the north.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So we would not want to necessarily install a new a new seat that was of the same material. So we want to also incorporate, I would think, the thought process on that incorporation. Are we going to make it all wood? So it all matches?
Could we just make, Bill's bringing up a good point, could we just make the benches on the north walkway and the south walkway to alleviate it being wet? Could we change those to wood? I don't know.
I don't know if we have enough funds to do that. I think that's a bigger project down the road. I believe we should stay with the composite, unfortunately, for now. You don't want it mismatched.
Well, have we looked at any possible treatment to the composite?
follow
that
up
can help
with the town
keep it
engineer.
from-
I can follow up with the town engineer on that, yeah.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Bert, are you on?
I am online, yes.
Okay, thank you. You may recall, we had a conversation about potentially adding 2 more pilings to the north stair set. I know you're on vacation. I'm not holding you to it. Did anybody happen to come up with any number at all?
So I think the difficult part with that, if I'm not sure if the commission is able to see our design on the screen. But the paver walkway is directly against the existing northeast deck. So it would be very difficult to install a pile in that location because we're going to need to drive it in with some equipment without impacting that deck. I think that would be the limiting factor there.
What are we going to do with the paver deck?
Let's stay in there. We're continuing from there. That paver deck that's there, the concrete slab that you're talking about.
Right.
That will lead to the stairs. So the stairs will attach to the end of that.
Okay, so there won't be that huge drop.
Correct. This will correct that. And it will probably require some movement of some of the stone that are out there to allow the pitch for the steps to go down and so
And
on.
people are just walking on it and jumping down.
Right. So.
It's very, very it's so dangerous.
Yeah, they shouldn't be doing it.
Of course, I know, but they take down the tape and they walk and jump down.
Yeah.
Whatever happened.
So Bert, you're saying though that it's too narrow of a space, you think, to put a piling in there? I thought there was some gap, but I may not look at it close enough.
Yeah,
Okay.
in that photo detail, it shows it pretty clearly that it's pretty tight there, but also if we were to install the pile, it would have to overlap with the walking space. So I think it would limit the amount of walking space you have in the stairs.
All right.
Okay, so we're look, any other comments from the commission, any questions, for all the engineers here? All right, so we're looking to, an motion to authorize up to the expenditure of $25,000 for the design and installation of the north stairwell walk. Would someone like to make that?
Definitely make a motion to do that, 25,000.
Second.
Okay. Is there, do you want to say something?
Yes. There is a possibility that maybe look into the possibility of having a handicap access to one of the exits on the beach. Handicap.
Yes, yes, so the town engineer, I don't have a definitive where that can happen, and that goes to the larger discussion of maybe redesigning one of the walkways. So the town engineer and I have it scheduled in the next month to start to identify accessible access to the beach, yes.
Thank you.
Just because I wanna go on the public record about that, the walkway as it is now, where you walk off the pavers onto the sand, is not necessarily accessible either. So we're not taking away an ADA access, but we should be looking to identify an ADA access.
So, the town attorney, if there was a claim made by a handicapped individual that there was no ADA compliant access to the beach, what position would that be?
Well, I mean, I think if there's something that's reasonable that we can do to provide that access, we should try to do that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think you get an opportunity to cure when they first come in. It's not an automatic claim.
Yeah.
But it was not contemplated when we did this a few years ago.
So. Who could make that claim? Any member of the public?
yes, if it's a public area, yes.
Well, let's play this out. I mean, we're going down hold on, we're going down a little bit of a rabbit hole here.
Yeah,
Are we required to do that for any member of the public in the state of Florida? If someone were to say, I am a handicap access individual, I don't live in the town. And I park my car right over here and I get in my, just assuming a wheelchair. And I wanna go to the beach right here, they would still have a claim.
it's a public beach.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
You go along Jupiter Beach and there's no handicap access. I
No.
was there yesterday,
okay.
just looking
Yeah,
at it. And that's all stairs, so,
Cause they must have, so there must be some precedent there, I'm sure they've been challenged.
Okay.
Alright, I don't wanna talk about it anymore, I'll let you, go ahead and. Go ahead,
we can do it, we should do it.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we're gonna look into it. It's correcting of that.
Okay, is there a motion made, it's been seconded, all in favor? Aye, motion passes 5-0, looking for a motion to adjourn. So move to adjourn, second, all in favor?
Aye.
5-0.